Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of my Let's Play Open RuneScape Classic series. Today we're going to get started on our journey to having all skills at level 10 or higher, starting with my favorite skill, mining. I'm thinking that if we focus early on the mining and smithing skills together, it'll serve us well, giving us the ability to craft bronze armor and weapons, which will make us much more formidable in combat than we are at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and take my bronze pickaxe out of the bank. And we're going to make our way north out of Al-Kharid to Varrock, to the southeast Varrock mine, which will be a great starting point for the mining skill. We'll be able to find bronze, we'll be able to find copper and tin ore there that we can smelt together to make bronze and get started with some bronze equipment in the near future. As we make our way north through the desert of Al-Kharid, the northern desert, we will pass by the Al-Kharid mine, which is a kind of scary place for a newcomer. We have an imp down here, but yes, you see these scorpions. The scorpion is level 21, a little out of our range at the moment. But hopefully in the future we can come back here and make use of this mine. Once you make it past the mine, you'll reach the road to Varrock. This road to the west will lead us to Varrock. There'll also be a path to the south that we could use to get back to Lumbridge, and we will, on this path, we will make our way past the dreaded Dark Wizards. The Dark Wizards in RuneScape Classic aren't near as scary as the wizards in old school RuneScape. They won't sit here and throw earth strikes at us, but they're still scary just because of all the memories I have of running by here, getting attacked, getting rooted by these guys in the 2007 era of RuneScape. Lots of fun. Those were good times, but as you can see, we have reached the south gate of Varrock. We've got a guard. A south Varrock guard here, and what we're going to do is we're going to head east along the wall to the southeast Varrock mine. That should be past these Dark Wizards and past a few bushes. And here we are. We have the resident unicorn of the southeast mine nearby, and yeah, as you can see here, we've got a few different kinds of ore. I believe that these three should be iron, which is, you know, it's too high for us right now. This ore should be copper. This rock contains copper ore, and then if I prospect one of these, this should be tin. Perfect. So yeah, this little spot has everything we need to get started with some low-level mining. If we follow this road to the north that you can see on the minimap, we can enter Varrock from its east gate, and there should be a bank there where we can start banking our ore. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started with mining. And as you can see, I'll start off by only succeeding at scratching the rock. But that's okay, we'll get better, and with time we will get faster and faster. And hey, I managed to obtain my first copper ore. Alright, level 6 mining, and we now have a full inventory of copper, so I'm going to go ahead and head to the north down this side road to the east gate of Varrock, and we will go bank our copper and head right back. Here you can see the east gate of Varrock, where we're entering, and if we head down this road we'll find a bank. Is this the bank right here? Yes, the Bank of RuneScape. Perfect. We'll go ahead and talk to the banker, and we'll deposit our copper ore. Deposit all of it. Perfect, and go ahead and head back out to the mine, and we'll repeat this process and gather several loads of copper and several loads of tin so that we can head to an anvil in a little bit and start working on smithing as well. Dropping off my second load of copper now. Level 10 mining, yes! Awesome, we have our first skill to level 10. Our total level is now at 38. That is just so exciting. I'm actually going to continue mining for the time being. I want to collect several loads of copper and tin so that we can start training the smithing skill and hopefully get as close as we can to a full set of bronze in this episode. I'm now dropping off my third load of copper, and I actually found an uncut ruby while I was mining, which is pretty cool. I think I'm going to go ahead and switch to tin now. So maybe we'll have 3 loads of copper and 3 loads of tin to start smithing with. That is 1, 2, 3 loads of tin. Awesome. We now have 3 loads of tin, 3 loads of copper. The next thing that we need is a hammer. I think we can get a hammer from the general store, I'm pretty sure. I guess I will chop down a few trees and sell those to the general store and see if we can't fetch a hammer. Checking on the price of a hammer so I know how many logs to collect. I'm going to guess it is 1 gold. We shall see. We've got a hammer here that we can buy for 1 GP each. That should not prove to be too difficult. Alright, I'm going to collect my 1 log. Perfect. And we can now buy a hammer. Talk to the shop assistant. Yes, please. What are you selling? Alright, I'm going to sell the 1 log for 1 gold. And then with my 1 gold, I'm going to buy 1 hammer. Perfect. We now have 3 loads of tin, 3 loads of copper, and we have a hammer. The hammer will become useful when it's time to hammer bars into items. But before we can do that, we need to smelt our tin and copper into bronze bars. And for that, we need a furnace. My favorite furnace is actually in Al-Kharid because of how close the furnace is to a bank. So I'm going to head south out of Varrock back to Al-Kharid, to the Al-Kharid bank, where I will begin smelting bronze bars. Alright, so here we are back in Al-Kharid at the Al-Kharid bank on the western side of the city. And what we're going to do is deposit all of our tools that I'm very happy to have. All 3. And we're going to want to withdraw half an inventory of tin and half an inventory of copper, which in Classic I believe we have 30 slots. So it should be 15 and 15. Let's see. Is that right? Yes, that looks correct. All right, and we will head a little to the north of the bank. And one of these 3 buildings should have a furnace. I want to say the last building. No, the second one. Perfect. And so what we will do is use one of the ore on the furnace. And we will do that over and over again. And as you can see in the messaging, it'll say you smelt the copper and tin together in the furnace and you retrieve a bar of bronze, which is exactly what we want. Yeah, so now we're going to fill up our inventory as much as possible with bronze, with all of this tin and copper. And I will make, I believe, 6 trips? Yeah, 6 trips with our 3 loads of tin and 3 loads of copper, and we'll see how much bronze we put out. Level 2 smithing on our first inventory of tin and copper. That is great. We're putting out half of our inventory of bronze each trip, so if I can math, we should have roughly 90 bronze bars by the time this is all said and done. Alright, so the last load of tin and copper wasn't quite a full load, so we almost have 90 bronze bars, not quite. We ended up with 86 in the end, but that is just great. Our next step will be to hammer these resources, these bars, into items. So we need an anvil for that. I'm going to head back north to Varrock, to the west side of town. There should be some anvils there, and yeah, it'll be right across from a bank, I'm pretty sure. So we should have an easy time going back and forth across the street from the bank to the anvil, and we'll start smithing for the very first time. So I am at what I would call the Varrock Fountain, if this were RuneScape 2 or 3. However, there is no fountain in the Varrock Square in RuneScape Classic. But if I walk a short walk to the west from here, we will find on the south side of the road a small building, and inside there are 3 anvils that are perfectly positioned right across the street from a bank, making this one of the best spots in the game to do all of your smithing grinding. Let's go ahead and load up on bronze bars, and I already have a hammer in my inventory, so we are ready to begin smithing. Let's see, my smithing level is 6, so I think the first thing that I'm going to try to make is a new weapon for myself. I would really like to play around with a scimitar. So when you're smithing in RuneScape Classic, you have this menu system that appears at the top left, and you just choose your category. You'll choose more specifically what you want. In my case, I'm wanting a sword. The scimitar is a sword, and yeah, finally pick your item. You hammer the metal and make a bronze scimitar. Perfect. So I can equip this now, and wonderful, I have a bronze scimitar to play with. I think we were using a bronze longsword before, which is just fine, but I personally have always liked the scimitars. I know that in RuneScape 2 and 3, the different weapons have different speeds. I'm pretty sure in Classic, all of the weapons have the same speed, and so they have some variation of accuracy and damage between weapon types. I'm not exactly sure what the differences are yet, but I'm sure I'll learn over time as I continue playing the game. The next thing that I want to smith is at level 7 smithing. I want to smith the bronze large helmet, the equivalent of the full helm in the modern games. Until then, I will start by smithing bronze arrowheads to make sure that we are making the most efficient use of our resources as we can. Awesome, level 7 smithing, so now we can go ahead and make a bronze large helm. Sick. Yeah, got the bronze helm going on. And that looks pretty cool. The next thing I'm going to want is the kite shield at level 12 smithing, so we will just keep on grinding along. Level 10 smithing. Heck yes. All right, so I actually misspoke earlier. Mining is technically my my second skill to get to level 10. Yeah, because hits, we start off at 10. So that makes, yeah, smithing is our third skill. Our third skill to get to 10, so heck yeah, we're making some solid progress. I'm gonna keep smithing these bars into arrowheads, and we'll see how far along we can go before we run out of our first little batch of bronze bars. So as I was smithing, I hit 100% fatigue with my character, and so I just wanted to show you that if I try to smith a set of arrowheads, the game will say that I'm too tired to smith. So I'm going to go ahead and head over to the bank and take out my sleeping bag and get some rest for a minute. And I just think this aspect of RuneScape Classic is hilarious. In RuneScape 2, I believe this was replaced by the random event system, you know, Sandwich Lady and whatnot. But I just think this is quite hilarious, honestly. So I'll just get out my sleeping bag and click on that and wait for my fatigue to reach 0%. Enter the message, and I will be well rested and ready to continue working and gaining experience. Sweet. Level 12 smithing, and I think we might have just enough bronze bars to make the shield that I want. No, we need one more. Gosh darn it, I'm going to take out my frustration on the imp standing next to me. Let's go. A white bead. Ooh, now that is interesting. That will come in handy later for us. Yeah, I'm actually really glad that I decided to do that now. We're going to go ahead and bank that really quick. Oh my gosh, another player. Yeah, this guy, I've talked to him in the Discord, so it's cool. Yeah, I was so like preoccupied with skilling that I just totally didn't even think twice about someone just walking up. I'm just playing RuneScape. I expect there to be other people, but on this server, it's just kind of crazy. Just hanging out in the Varrock West Bank, and this guy comes walking up. Sick. Well, that was just too freaking cool, running into somebody else on the server for the very first time. I just wasn't really expecting that. So as far as what I'm going to do next for this video, I've already hit my goal of getting level 10 mining and smithing today, which is great, but I really felt kind of bare with just the scimitar and the large helmet. I really want a full set of bronze armor, so my next steps are going to be to head back to the Southeast Varrock mine to continue mining tin and copper, and get back to smelting and smithing, and hopefully get my smithing level to 18, at which point I will be able to smith a full set of bronze armor. Yeah, so my goal will be, by the end of this video, to stand before you all in a glorious set of full noob bronze armor. Alright, so while I'm playing RuneScape Classic today, I've got my two little brothers-in-law with me. I've got Drew.
Hello.
And Ben.
Hello.
And today is Ben's birthday, so everybody say happy birthday to Ben in the comments. And Drew turns 12. Ben just turned 13 today, and Drew will turn 12 exactly 1 month from today. So that's pretty exciting, isn't it, Drew?
Yeah, I was born July 27th, 2008. Ben was born June 27th, 2007.
Sick.
So I just finished gathering a little over 200 copper and 200 tin, so I'm ready to begin smelting. And I hit level 27 mining in the process, which is awesome. That'll likely be our highest skill for a little bit. And I am now going to head back to Al-Kharid and start smelting. What in tarnation? How did this scorpion get out of its little pit? We do not want to mess with that. Yeah, stay away, scorpion. Perfect. Oh, it's a camel. I am now in Al-Kharid, smelting bronze bars, and we will see if I can maybe snag a level or two on my way to my goal of 18 smithing. Alright, so I have just finished smelting all of my bronze bars, and that leaves me at a grand total of 205 bronze bars, which is incredible. After the smelting process, rather, I am now at level 16 smithing, so it is basically guaranteed that we will hit 18 during the smithing process. And yeah, I'll have a full set of bronze armor before you know it. Right, I have made it to West Varrock, and I'm now going to get started smithing, moving on my way to level 18 smithing and a full set of bronze armor. Alright, so I just hit level 18 smithing with plenty of bronze bars to go, so I will go ahead and get some bronze out and smith our full set of bronze armor. Alright, so I already have my large bronze helmet and my scimitar. I'm going to go ahead and craft some armor. Let's do the plate mail legs. Sick. Okay, and I'll do the plate mail body. Sweet, and we'll do a kite shield. Let's see, that would be armor, shield, kite shield. Alright, and we will equip it all. Yeah, look at that. Look at that fresh noob bronze armor. It looks great. Why don't we celebrate by killing this imp? So I'm still an absolute weakling, but I'm definitely dealing damage much quicker than I was before. If we check our stats, it looks like our armor is up to 32, which is great. Alright, so I also crafted one of each of the weapon types, just so I could do a simple comparison of their accuracy and damage. If you look at my stats, you can see down here under equipment status, we have a weapon aim and a weapon power relating to our accuracy and our damage. So I have the bronze dagger equipped, and it looks like its aim and power are 5 and 5. If I move up to the short sword, that improves to 7 and 7, so that's definitely better. And if I move up to the long sword,
then it becomes 8 and 8. So the longsword is a nice balanced weapon with an aim and power that are equal. If I switch to the scimitar, we go back down to 7 and 7. So it looks like the longsword is just 1 point better than the scimitar in each stat, which is interesting. If I switch now to the two-handed sword, then we're now at 11 and 11, so that's actually even better than the longsword. I was thinking that switching between these different kinds of weapons would, I figured that some weapons would have, a greater accuracy and less damage, and others have greater damage and less accuracy, but let's just keep on testing these out. So far, it looks like the two-handed sword is like the definite winner at 11 power and 11 aim. However, at the expense of you cannot wield your shield while wearing the two-handed sword. So I guess the long sword would still be your best bet so far if you wanted to go with a shield. If I switch over to the battle axe, now we have some variation. So this actually has a 10 power and only an 8 aim, so and it looks like it is, yeah, it's one-handed, so this is actually better than our longsword because we move from 8-8 to 8-10. So the battle axe is a little better for one-handed combat, and then if I do the mace, it looks like it's 6-5. Wow, that's way lower. Okay, so it looks like realistically our best choices for weapons moving forward are either the bronze two-handed sword for two-handed combat or the battle axe for one-handed combat. Alright guys, that is going to be it for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining me on my adventure through RuneScape Classic. Today we were able to get our mining and smithing skills up to level 10, so that we now have 3 skills at level 10, and we were able to craft a full set of bronze armor, which looks great. I'm so excited to continue in the next video on our journey to getting all skills to level 10, and we might even start questing. I know of a certain cook that might need some help, but I guess you'll have to wait and find out in the next episode. See you next time.